Good morning, guys. It's Saturday. It's 9 a.m. where I am. I don't know where you are. And the sun is shining and it's not raining. So there's a positive way to start the day. So today we're going to go into a full body workout. If you've got a drink of water, throw it away. We're not going to be touching that water, or if you're sticking to the plan, we're not going to be touching that water for the duration of the session. So I want you guys to now grab your kettlebell or equivalent. Sorry, I'm just covering myself up there on my screen because I got my delay in the background. So I want you to grab your kettlebell. You're going to need a chair, and you're going to need about 2 meters square of space. If you have any questions, any problems, any queries, anything at all, throw it in the chat window. I have a big screen up behind the camera, and I'll be able to see it, and then I will be able to answer your questions. And if I don't know the answer, I'll make up a convincing lie because I'm good at that. Please don't tell anybody else to say that. Right, so we're going to be working for 40 seconds on. 40 seconds on, one exercise, moving straight to the next exercise. It's going to be continuous. It's going to be 15 minutes on the nose. Trust me when I say leave the water beside. Just stick to the movements, stick to the timing, and you'll be absolutely fine. Yes, it's going to be tough. It's a 15-minute window. We've got to get as much as possible in that 15-minute window, but trust me when I say it'll stand to you for the rest of the day and set you up in the right mood, right frame of mind. Okay, a couple more people coming online. Once everyone's on, then we'll get going. And if you're watching this on repeat, give us a comment underneath and just let us know how you're getting on. Okay, so let's just start with some lunges. So we're going to go feet hip width. Keep that gap as we lunge forward, drop the knee to the floor, squeeze the abs, push ourselves back up. So big stride, drop knee, squeeze abs, push back up. Take your time. That's it. So we're just working our way through the warm-up. We're mobilizing our ankles, our knees, our hips. We're getting that blood flowing around to all those muscles, all those tendons, joints, ligaments, all the areas that are going to be worked through resistance. So we'll be focusing predominantly on the posterior chain today. So that's the muscles on the back of the body. They're the muscles that do the heavy lifting. They're the ones that do the work, the Trojan work. And then they're the larger muscles, the lats, the hamstrings, the glutes. And those are the ones that do the heavy lifting while the smaller muscles do the steering. Okay, so from there, we're now going to go into squats. So once you spread your feet outside shoulder width, toes turned out, stick your ass out like you're shutting a door behind you and sit your hips down into that squat and then come back up. Take your time. Knees get pushed out into a V in the same direction that the toes are pointing. The whole sole of your foot stays in contact with the floor throughout. So we're not looking for the heels to come up off the floor. We're looking to keep those heels down. So you've got a 50 under each heel. And it's windy. Don't let it blow away. Okay, one more rep and then you're going to stay at the bottom of that squat. Hook your fingers under your toes. Raise your hips nice and high. Stretch those hamstrings and lower back. And then pull yourself down into that squat, pushing the knees out with the elbows. And then back up again. So we're going to spend about 2 to 3 seconds at the bottom, 2 to 3 seconds at the top. And emphasizing the proper technique on your squat, the proper posture, shoulders are back, chest is out, head is up, and aggressively push those knees out with the elbows when you're at the bottom. And again, same thing with the feet, suction cupped to the floor. That's it, nice work. Okay, so from there, we're now going to walk the hands out into the plank position. Hands beneath the shoulders, fingers splayed, full contact, surface area contact with the palm of the hand on the floor. Bring the right foot forward, drop the left knee to the floor, hold it there for 2 seconds, and then it's a big arm rotation. Twist as much as you can through the spine, hand back down, and then change. Left is now forward, right is on the floor, stretch on the hip flexor and the groin, and the hamstring, and then an arm rotation to bring that torso rotation in there as well. So we're just alternating every 3 to 4 seconds between left and right. Take your time, work the movement. Don't just fly through it. There's a deliberate movement. There's a reason we're doing it. There's a focus on a specific area why we're doing it. Otherwise, there'll be no point in doing it. A few clicks and cracks on the back, that's normal. You're about to challenge your better breakdown moves. Flick onto your back, heels on the floor, drive those hips into the sky, and then back down, tip the floor and go again. 2 legs are driving the floor away through the heels. And let's take one leg off the floor and drive to that solo leg. Get the hips as high as you can. Get the hamstrings and glutes on the way up and down. Sorry, get the hamstrings on the way up and down, the glutes at the top. Okay, change legs. So we're now using the other leg. The leg that's in the air is not swinging up and down, because what happens there is it generates momentum. We don't want momentum. Okay, back to two legs. Momentum is not your friend when you want to isolate a specific muscle group. And it's the same with the likes of kettlebell swings, which we're going to be starting with today. Yes, there is momentum in kettlebell swings, but there's control. At all times, you should be in control of your swing. Your abs should be tight, your shoulder blades should be pinned back, and you should be driving through the soles of the feet. So let's march out 2 reps on each leg, alternating every 2 reps. So we want to spend extra time getting these glutes and the posterior chain warmed up and firing, because that's going to be the propelling muscle group for that bell for the swings. Okay, and up we come. So we're going to be dipping back into our swings on a regular basis every 40 seconds. Go slow, take your time, focus on the technique, focus on the way it should feel, driving through the soles of the feet, pinning the shoulder blades back, standing up tall and squeezing those abs. We are starting in 10 seconds with kettlebell swings. At the end of 10 seconds, here's the timer. At the end of 10 seconds, we're going to be going into squat, holding on the right hand. Swings in 3, 2, 1, let's go. Shoulders back, chest out, head up. So I'm starting my swings with my 2 hands on the bell, I should say. I'm driving the soles of the feet into the floor. I'm keeping my shoulder blades pinned back, keeping my abs nice and tight, and standing aggressively up tall. My hips are never flying across the room out in front, because my abs are acting like a handbrake for my hips. As soon as they get to the upright position, the abs tense and they stop. Keep that going. In 10 seconds time, there is no transition time. You're going straight into a squat with the bell on your right shoulder. 2, 1, bell on the right shoulder, drop it into your squat. Now you can afford to go a little slower with your technique, because of the fact that there's no rest here for 15 minutes. So take your time. Work your way through the rep. In 22 seconds, we're back to our swings. Then we're going to go to our squat again. And then that squat is done. You're not going to be using that anymore. We'll move on to a new exercise that works in conjunction with the swing. 7 seconds, we're back to swings. 3, 2, 1, back to our swing. So again, I'm just taking the first few reps like the last set of swings. I'm driving through the soles of the feet. I'm keeping 2 hands on the bell, and I'm making sure that my technique is correct. I'm squeezing my abs, because tight core is a good energy transfer from lower to upper, but it also protects that spine. So if you're ever getting that twinge on your lower back, squeeze your abs and stick your chest out more aggressively. 7 seconds, the bell is on the left shoulder, and we're squatting. 3, 2, 1, bell onto the left shoulder, and squat. So it's a big drawn inhale as you push your hips back and down. It's a big explosive exhale as we push through the whole sole of that foot to come up tall. And remember what I said about the knees during the warm-up squats? They're pushed out to the side, allowing the hips to drop nice and low. 12 seconds, you're going to go straight into swings. 10 seconds now. Keep those abs tight. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Back to our swings. So now I'm happy that my swing is up to scratch. So I'm going to go single hands, and I'm going to alternate my pass in front of the face. I'm not doing it down between the knees. I'm keeping everything where I can see it out in front. Whew. This is going to be tough. 12 seconds. Then the bell goes on the right shoulder, and I kick my right leg back behind me into a lunge. 3, 2, 1, right shoulder, right rear lunge. That left foot is nailed to the floor. I'm kicking my right leg back. I'm lowering it down. I'm making contact with the floor, but I'm in control of the contact. I'm not just free falling and smashing my knee into the floor. I'm going down on my own terms to the bell, with the bell to the floor, tip, and then back up. And at all times, a football should be able to roll between my 2 feet when I'm standing and the 1 foot and 1 knee when I'm kneeling. We lunge like we're on train tracks, not a tightrope. 3, 2, 1, back to swings. So I'm going to keep that alternate going. As you get tired with your swing, the first thing that's going to go is your ab squeeze. Keep the abs tight, very closely followed by the shoulder blades. I can feel my shoulder blades wanting to open out against the resistance of the bell. And if I can't control that, I either take my second hand and put it on the bell, or I lighten the bell. 6 seconds, we're going to left side rear lunge. 3, 2, 1. Left side rear lunge. Maintain that width, driving off the sole of that right foot to come up tall. Squeeze the abs as you push the floor away with the sole of the foot. That enables a solid transfer of energy to get you back up. Nice work. 12 seconds, 10 seconds. We're back into our swings after this. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, back to our swings. Woo. Shoulders are back, chest is out, head is up. Driving the floor away aggressively, squeezing your abs to protect that spine and transfer the energy efficiently. 20 seconds, then the bell is on the right shoulder, and you're going to go into push press with a little bit of a hip drive. So the bell goes from the right shoulder straight up over the head, and it's a little bit of a hip drive, not a knee bend, to help. 3, 2, 1. Bell on the right shoulder, hip drive. It's not a squat. It's literally, you're sticking your butt out for half a second, then you snap your hips back into place. I'm not sitting into a chair. I'm standing 5 centimeters in front of a wall. I stick my butt out to hit the wall. As soon as the butt makes contact with the wall, the hips come back in line, and then that energy is transferred into the arm. Whew. After this, in 10 seconds, we're going into our last set of swings. Stay with me. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and swing it. Woo! That's it, guys. Keep her going. Well done. So we're going to go into our left side push press after this set of swings. And then at the end of the push press, the swing for the remainder of the session has been replaced with the clean. And the difference between the swing and the clean is the bell travels from the floor between the 2 feet up to the chest. The hip movement and everything else is the same as the swing. You're just transferring the energy differently with the arm. You're steering it up to the chest as opposed to in front. And onto the left shoulder, hip drive. Use your breathing as your metronome. Keep those abs tight. Keep the tempo at a decent clip. As the bell comes down, your hips get pushed out the back. They're in no way sitting near a chair. They're literally reaching back 5 centimeters and then snapping back into place. 10 seconds, then the bell goes on the floor, and we're going to clean the bell from the floor to the chest. 3, 2, 1. Bell on floor. From the floor to the chest, back to the floor, to the chest, back to the floor. So I'm cleaning with my 2 hands. Driving the floor away aggressively. Bell is refused to let go of, and therefore travels up as the body straightens itself up tall. I'm still driving through the soles of the feet. I'm still squeezing my abs. Chair is now in play in 15 seconds. I'm going to have that bell on my right shoulder, and I'm going to step up onto that chair with my right foot. I'm going to keep the right foot doing all the work on the step-ups. 3, 2, 1. Bell on the right shoulder. Right foot on the chair, and then back down. Keep that right foot on the chair throughout. So think about the chair as a tin can, a drinks can. You're trying to crush it down into the ground with the sole of your right foot. You're trying not to use your left leg to whoosh yourself up. You're just trying to drive the energy down, and therefore you are propelled up. You squeeze your abs to transfer that energy into the frame and keep it from falling forward or backwards and crumpling. Back to our cleans, let's go. From the floor, posture to the chest. Back to the floor. Remember, slingshot hips. You're never sitting, it's a hinge. So our hips get pushed out the back, just like when the bell is down at the bottom of the swing. They snap back into place. The abs are tight. All your energy is traveling down, and therefore in the opposite direction, up, never forwards and backwards. That's just the hips facilitating. 5 seconds, or left foot on chair. 2, 1, left shoulder, left foot. Let's go. Squeeze those abs, crush the chair down. Don't have your heel overhanging. Keep that heel pushed down into the seat pan of the chair. Try not to rock backwards and forwards. Remember the momentum we touched on during the warm-up with the bridging. Everything you do is deliberate. It's controlled. It's focused. 10 seconds, we're back to cleans. Nice work, guys. Stay with me. 3, 2, 1. Back to cleans. So I'm now alternating my clean. I'm going single hand, and then when that bell is back on the floor, I'm doing 2 things. Number 1, I'm changing hands, but number 2, and most importantly, I'm making sure all my postural checks are in place. So my hips are at the back, my shoulder blades are pinned back, my abs are tight, my head is up before that bell leaves the floor. 10 seconds, then I'm gonna have the bell on my right hand, left hand on the chair, and I'm gonna go single arm row. Slow, controlled, emphasis on the lats. Let's go. Left hand on chair. I've a slight bend on my fingers. I'm not gone white knuckled. I've just got enough whereby I'm able to contract my lat and hold on to that bell to draw to my armpit. I'm not letting the bell free fall back to the floor. I'm controlling the descent back to the floor using that lat. That's that big wing of muscle on the right side of my body. I'm not swinging my shoulders. I'm squeezing my abs to maintain rigidity, and I'm focused with deliberate movements on that one side. That's my lat. 3, 2, 1. Back to cleans. Set your posture. Hand on bell. Drive floor away. Finish tall. And that bell finishes on the chest in the bird's nest under your chin. So as you get tired, just like the swings, the abs, the shoulder blades tend to relax their grip and you lose that posture. So take that extra half a second before the bell leaves the floor to just do some quality control checks on your posture, visualize your technique, and then apply it. 3, 2, left hand on the row, 1, let's go. My right hand's on the chair, my left hand is on the bell. After this, I'm going into my last set of 2 exercises. It's going to be cleans and single leg deadlift on the right, and then we finish on the left. Whew. 17 seconds. Visualize the lift. It's coming from the lat. It travels down through the arm into the bicep, and from there into the forearm. But the lat does 70% of the work. 5 seconds. 4, 3, back to cleans in 2, 1. Back to our clean. Drive floor away. Rack bell on chest. My heart rate is plenty high at this stage. Keep moving. You can see the finish line. Stay with me. Trust me when I say stay with the timing. You don't need the water. The water is there as a distraction. Finish first. Then get your water. You're not going to die of thirst. 8 seconds. It's going to be single leg deadlift, holding in the right hand, standing on my left leg. 2, 1. Left leg is supporting. Kick the right leg out behind. Stand tall. If I need to, I bring the chair in as a very, very light support for my hand. What I'm trying to focus on here is maintaining the lat squeeze, the abs, but primarily left hamstring, left butt cheek should be feeling that. So I'm driving through the whole sole of my left foot. I'm not going up onto the toes. I'm keeping that heel down aggressively. 10 seconds and we're back to cleans. And then you're on the last leg. Literally, figuratively. And back to our cleans. From the floor to the chin, back down. And you can see how effective today's session has been on the posterior chain, the back of the body. That's where the majority of your muscles live. They're the big ones. The larger the muscle, the more energy it requires. The more energy it requires, the more calories you burn. Think of it that way. The big engines live on the back. You drive the big engine, it burns the most fuel. But your body is lazy. It will look for shortcuts. You got to focus on the posture. 3 seconds, we're back to the left side. 2, 1, let's go. Keep that going. We're driving through the sole of that right foot. This is your last 30 seconds. Focus on those abs staying tight. The lats pinned back. Driving through the sole of that right foot. 20 seconds. 15 seconds. 12 seconds away from finish line. 4, 3, all the way, 2, 1, and rest. Woo! Nice work, guys. Now you can put the bell down. Now you can get some water. And now you can pull the tongue out of the back of your throat. So this session is always available via the link. You'll find it if you go to our YouTube channel, so you can do this any time of day you want. All you got to do is find the Fit by 15 live sessions playlist. And what I want you to do, if you want to challenge yourself, just one little minute challenge, is to do this again next week, but reduce all those rest periods that you took. Because we all know we tend to take rest periods when no one's watching. I can't because you're watching. All right. So if you're going to do some complementary exercises, I would suggest going to do a steady state cardio. So that means a walk, a run, a swim, a cycle for a prolonged period of time, like half an hour, 40 minutes. A brisk walk for half an hour. It'll keep the heart rate, I'm looking at my heart rate now, it'll keep the heart rate elevated for just an extra half an hour. And your heart rate is elevated. It's pretty high after that resistance. So when you finish your cardio, you're going to be out of breath. That's a good sign. If you're still with me, feet nice and wide, stretch on the groin, passive hang, drop the hands to the floor, kick the hips out the back, and just visualize everything on the back of the body from the heels loosening out as you work your way up the back of the body. So the lower calf, so we're down into our soleus Achilles area, then it's up into the gastric head, so the belly of the calf, then across the back of the knee into the hamstring, hamstring up into the butt over the lower back, into the lower back. With every exhale, you relax those muscles one at a time up the chain. That into the shoulder blades open out like a sunroof. And then that in turn releases its grip on the shoulder ball, sitting in the shoulder socket. Then your hands become nice and light, and you just let them ragdoll hang lightly on the floor. Nice work today, guys. It was a toughie. It was 15 minutes, pretty much on the nose. I think it was 15:40. Okay, up you come, turn the toes to the right, drop the left knee onto the floor. 2 hands or 2 elbows on that knee and tip that knee forward. Relax your shoulder blades. Keep the emphasis on that hip flexor. That's it. So again, relaxing the shoulder blades, tipping forward, feeling the stretch on the hip flexor. Breathe through it. Nice work. Okay, and let's change other side. That's the one. So breathe, breathe, breathe. So if you were doing this in the morning, congratulations, you have just reaffirmed your positive outlook on the day. You've set yourself up with something positive. Keep that going throughout the day. Don't fall into that slump. It's a lot easier to stay out of that slump now that you've kicked off with the right attitude and application. Well done. Make a note in your head of where you were in that workout, how far you got, when you needed rest, when you could push a little harder. Try it again and try and just do a little bit better each time. Okay guys, till then, we'll see you next Wednesday when we're in our live. And if you have any problems or any questions in the meantime, we're always available either on the comment section below or send us a direct message on any of our social media. Till then guys, have a good day. Well done.